I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. What's going on, my fellow shenanigander friends out there in Shenaniganderland? I am back in the basement and working on stuff. I'll show you what I've been doing. Alright, so I still got to install my NVRAM and the software for the CPU on Harlem. I have been working on the Siegecraft LED adapters. My buddy Dave said it is one thing you can try is to repin the connector that goes to all the little boards. So I'll take you over there. First we need a sip of this. There we go. Okay, so I did repin the thing. And what I've learned is that the lights, the LEDs, appeared to flicker a little more in attract mode, but not really so much in gameplay mode. So maybe that's just a thing. Maybe without the adapters it would be significantly flickering to a strobe light effect that would drive you insane. And the fact that it's significantly reduced, flickering that is, during attract mode, that maybe that's fine, but during gameplay they seem to be okay. So a couple things I've done is, because my lights, I think I've got the solution, was I have put the plastics back on, I've cleaned the plastics and installed them. I'm going to lower the playfield. I'll be right back. Okay, so plastics are installed. Oh yeah, also before I forget, I was looking at my flippers and I decided that white rubber on white flipper bat just kind of makes the flipper look extra fat. And I wasn't really loving it, so I did go with all red. And actually, it does look really good like that. So I've started LEDing the machine. And in attract mode, if you look really close, they do look a little flickery. But I'll show you when I go into game mode. So these are LED'd, obviously. These are not. Man, this thing has a lot of friggin' inserts, really. So these are all LED'd, and these are all LED'd. These two guys are LED'd. And now I got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these little guys. Apparently in attract mode, none of these other inserts go off at all. None of these, really? The globe letters go off. But, oh yeah, so plastics are installed, pop bumper caps are installed. I do still have to clean the spinners. They're a little bit dirty. I went with my rubber post caps like I usually do, instead of the threaded nylon variety. Oh, I still have to message Henry. Henry, if I don't message you and you hear this request before I message you, I would love some Harlem Globetrotters apron cards of the custom kind. That would look pretty sweet, I'm sure. More so than this plain real estate. So yeah, plastics installed, post rubbers installed, flipper rubbers changed, LEDs have begun. I did repin. Oh look, back box LEDs. And again, one LED is worth about 2 to 3 incandescent, so you don't need to populate every single hole. You want to do what looks good. And I won't know until I've got the back glass on. But I've kind of spread out the LEDs and we'll see how that goes once I install the back glass. But what do we got back here? Yeah, so this is the wire I repinned. I guess I don't need my Novus in there anymore. And everything back here is still handy dandy. I still have yet to determine if my soundboard has got glitch or not. And I haven't solved the right flipper issue yet because I haven't done any mechanics yet at all. I've just been focusing on electronics. Then I usually go to mechanics from there. But I kind of skipped mechanics and I went straight to the fun cosmetics. Doesn't that look good? Yeah. Alright, so in the next clip, I should have all of these LED'd and in lamp tests so you can see how pretty they are. Now, some of these are actually a little bit cupped. These inserts, which is very common on 40-year-old pinball machines that have been exposed to the heat of incandescent bulbs for 15 hours a day in an arcade. So there is cuppage. On a slow rolling ball, it may affect the path of the ball. But I will take that in exchange for the condition of this playfield being amazing. So you can fix that easily by buying a new playfield and installing everything from scratch. That's one solution. Here's what I was talking about. With this first drop target, sometimes it likes to stand a little taller than its buddies in the back. So we're going to have to settle this boy down. Also, I do have to clean the drop target still. I haven't done that either. So spinners and targets will get cleaned. But I think the next thing I'm going to do is finish LEDing this thing, and then I can move on to the mechanics. Yeah, so LEDs, clean targets, and then we go to mechanics. We'll fix that right flipper, and then maybe play a test game. Yeah. All right. I think I got every single bulb, including the coin door bulbs, are now LED'd. And while I was doing it, I'm thinking, holy hell, are there a lot of friggin' lamps to do for a solid state game? It's, you know, probably at least 150 different bulbs. It's gotta be. If you include all the back box, playfield, GI, inserts. Anyway, I figure, you know, like I said, if you buy in bulk, you can get LEDs for about $1 each. So with the adapters, I'm probably in for a couple $100 to LED the machine, and I think it's worth every penny. Check out how this looks. I think it looks friggin' awesome. The only creative choice that I did is this open gate is normally white, and I didn't feel like both these inserts should be white. I felt open gate deserved to have its own color. I tried pink. Well, purple looks like pink. I didn't like it. Then I tried orange, and then I realized that's orange. Didn't like it, so I went green. And I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, you know what? 5X almost deserves a fun color, but the purple looks pink, and Harlem Globetrotters just doesn't really scream pink anywhere on the playfield. So probably just going to leave that. But yeah, so there it is. That is basically... I forgot to clean the target, so I'm not quite done the top side yet, but pretty darn friggin' close. Yeah, so I guess maybe what I'll do is clean the targets and then install my NVRAM and software on the CPU. Get rid of these batteries and this wire here, and then, oh yeah, I still have to figure out the soundboard, but we'll, is there like, oh yeah, there's two buttons here. I think one is for volume, yep, that one, and the other one is for sustain, which is how long your pitch holds, so we can mess with that. You know, we could change capacitors, change the potentiometers. I don't know if that is originally socketed or someone did that, so maybe that's evidence that someone did try and work on this soundboard. So we'll mess with it and see if it is glitchy or not. But I haven't even really played a game yet, except for that. one test game with left flippers only in the previous video, so we'll still mess with that. Anyway, that's the game plan. I will keep you posted. Oh, and on a side note, two side notes. I gotta rebuild this shooter. That will be on the list as well. Shouldn't be doing that. The spring should actually work. But while I'm kind of puttering away, I listen to Pinball Podcasts, and I'm currently listening to my buddy Dan Bitterlich, VIP Vancouver Island Pinball Podcast. It's their year anniversary, so shout out Dan and Daryl for your 1 year's worth of podcasting, and I'm currently listening to your interview with Raymond Davidson, so that's pretty friggin' sweet. Cool guest you got on there, and I'm curious who this interviewed person is that you guys recently did, who's owned a pinball company for 15 years and nobody knows about apparently. So mystery hopefully will be unveiled on the next episode of VIP, so listen to that, check it out. Alright, so I'm cleaning up the spinner decals and the drop targets, and not only are these decals new, look at these spinners. Okay, look how pristine they look. Then you compare to this one, it's got a little more wear and tear, and it's got a different shape too, like you can see the ridges here, but here you can't. So I've concluded these two are actually new spinners, newer. And then I don't think these are the like Steve Young drop targets or even Marco. They could be. I don't know. I can see just a little bit of fringe on the top here. I'm going to snip off these fringes on the edges. I don't know. They're probably just fine and dandy. But I also don't think I'm going to touch up that blue. And then, as you can see, they're clean now, as well as the spinners. So if I just trim off the little frills, touch up that blue, then those drop targets are going to look good as new. Didn't that rhyme? And then this is single-use thermometer probe alcohol wipes that I got from Sean Russell. I've showed these before, but these are friggin' awesome. They work good for all this kind of cleaning. You just got to be careful. If you rub on a drop target too much, you'll notice that there might be a little blue on there if you're not careful, which I did, but then I stopped. So after you install your rubbers with your dirty fingers, you can go around the playfield and clean up any filth you stuck on your rubbers with these. And not only that, I just remembered that, you know, when you install a brand new ball and new rubbers, that ball likes to pick up a little bit of rubber dust. I don't even know what it is. And then your ball looks like it's dirty. So often I will clean all the rubbers with rubbing alcohol wipes so that it doesn't transfer onto the ball so much. Oh, you know what? They're great for targets too. I haven't done these yet. So let's do this target here and compare. So I'll do these guys up, but as you can see, it doesn't take much, and the black is pretty much gone. So these alcohol wipes are sweet. Alright, so these targets are now cleaned up, and I touched up the blue on the one drop target and got rid of the top little frills that were on actually a couple drop targets. Just took my X-Acto knife and shaped them off. It's hyper particular, mostly unnecessary, but oh well, I was in that area mucking away, so that first drop target looks a lot better now, and they're all cleaned up, so they all look better. Okay, so I think I am I done with the top side? Like, is the playfield done? Let me think about this. Do you see anything left? I don't know. I think maybe one final little vacuuming cleaning the glass and then installing it. That's basically it for Playfield top side. Yeah, I don't think I forgot anything, so, except for apron cards. Yeah, cool. That is pretty sweet. I should use that right there as my little thumbnail for my video. All right, I'm gonna move on to the CPU now. All right, let's see if we can figure this out. So, for starters, I'll want to desolder these two wires. Here's my NVRAM. It's a 6116 NVRAM. Now, I don't think I can screw that one up because there's really only one spot that can go, which is what does that say? U16. That is the only chip on this board that it can go. So, yeah, I can't screw that up. Then the software looks pretty friggin' obvious where that's gonna go. Whoa, jumping from version 4 to version 9. That's quite the jump there. Hopefully, whatever this version 4.8 doesn't have to be changed too. I hope I don't run into more problems trying to fix a problem. That I find happens more often than not. Try and solve something or improve something, and in the process you screw something up. Okay, check this out. Dave from Altek says I need to cut R42. Where's R42? Let's see. R37, 38. Oh, here's R42. So I guess we got to cut that guy out of the equation. Unless there's another R42 that I don't know about, but oh, I just got a message from my TX Sector buyer, and in order for me to get TX Sector successfully to Japan Arcade, I better reply to this guy. But look at this. J9. So that I need to jumper. There's J9. So I think we found what we need to do. R42 and J9. So I'm going to reply, let you know what's going on with TX Sector. They're having an issue wiring the funds because the address is being incooperative. So there's some more jumpers. That's for clock speed though. These are little built-on jumpers that you can just move if you want to go from a bally to a stern or a stern to a bally because they run on different clock speeds. Anyway, okay. I hopefully will have some good news about TX and this board done when I get back. Alright, I've done what needs to be did. Removed the wire for the batteries. Installed the 6116 NVRAM so that batteries are never needed ever again. Installed the software upgrade for the board and bent a pin in the process, but I fixed it and we are good. I added a little jumper to J9 here, as you can see. Just a little wire, but my insulation kind of split there on the right side. There it is on that side. And that there is the remnants of R42, which is now right there. So I'm going to cross my fingers and hope everything works as it should, but like I said, you just never know. There's always something. That's what my pinball has trained me. Never expect anything to go as planned. And if you've watched enough shenanigans, then you know that too. So let's pop this in and see what happens. Okay, I was just about to install this board back, and look what I found. Check out the bottom left bracket. That's a telltale sign there as to why the original CPU was replaced. The batteries in there must have leaked and caused all kinds of alkaline damage. There's even a little bit there. So I bet you that board had alkaline damage. It crawls like a friggin' disease, and I bet it like kind of just crawls its way up the sides. I bet you it did that. That board was pooched. So I'm gonna neutralize this with some vinegar and clean it up before I install that board, because it can still kind of creep around and spread around if I don't get it at bay. So I'll probably, I don't know, Dremel brush it clean and then throw some vinegar on there, and then it should be good to go. All right, cool. All right, board is back. We'll just leaving those batteries there for now. If everything works, I'll remove them. And the game setting is hardware, so I shouldn't have to change anything. I believe the free play setting is also hardware. So I think, in theory, nothing I should have to change on the software. The high score to date will probably be back to 0. All right, let's power it on. See if it does power on. Uh-oh. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I counted wrong. All right, we're booted up. I hear a little bit of feedback ever since I moved this wire. Maybe it's just these switches are a little cranky. I can hear it being a little cranky. Okay, so CPU's booted up. We're in attract mode. Does anything look different? That all looks good. Our high score to date should be back to 0, I'm guessing. Wait a minute. We got some weird glitching going on the displays now. Doesn't that really just annoy you? I know it annoys me. Why? Why is this happening? Nothing has changed. I'm going to start a game. Oh! What in effing tarnation? How did I know something was just going to be screwy? What the F is going on? Try and improve something and you just screw everything up. This is a path that I was really hoping to not go down. I have no idea what it is, but it makes me just want to undo everything I just did and leave it the way it was, which was working. But now I've got glitchy displays and solenoids just firing like crazy. I don't know, man. That is very deflating, I gotta tell you. I mean, it's not a big deal to put everything back to the way it was. I mean, but like, man, oh man, why don't things just work sometimes? I could switch the software back and then see if that changes anything. I could switch the NVRAM back, see if that changes anything. Kind of do it systematically. I'll check with Dave at Altek and see what he says as well. I guess I'll start with that. But it's getting to be about that time, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up for today on a deflating piece of information and news that sucked. But Playfield looks pretty, so we'll get there. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I have an old board revision here on an Altek CPU. This is revision G8-01. And Dave, I'm probably going to send this to you. I might post it in a repair group, I'm not really sure. But you suggested that on this old board, I get rid of the batteries that were on it, install an NVRAM, which I did here, to 6116 NVRAM, upgrade the software, which I did to version 9. You suggested that I need to jumper J9, which I have done, and cut R42, which I just removed entirely. So I've done everything that needs to be done. I didn't change game selection, didn't change any dip switches. Now, a couple weird things have started happening. First thing is I've got weird chatter going on the displays that I did not have before. You can kind of see ones flickering. I don't know if you can see that, yeah. Okay, then the weirdest thing is I go to start a game and solenoids will just go crazy. Slingshots are going crazy. Pop bumpers are going crazy. Sounds like a friggin' popcorn machine down here. Anyway, I have no idea what that is all about, so hopefully you do or someone does.